Calling out for help on social media, the San Diego activist who disappeared in Mexico just days after a KPBS report on his work with Haitian refugees.
And I'd get like pain shooting down my legs and I'd fall. I couldn't sleep at night.
Living with pain, the doctors searching for alternatives to highly addictive painkillers.
We can't wake up in the morning and go to Europa, so instead we wake up in the morning and go to the lab.
And detecting life on one of Jupiter's moons, how NASA scientists reverse engineered what's happening on the surface. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Ebony Monet. San Diego migrant rights activist Hugo Castro is missing in Mexico after pleading for help in a Facebook Live video posted Thursday. He's one of the most high-profile U.S. citizens to disappear in Mexico, where authorities estimate more than 10,000 people are missing. KPBS Fronteras reporter Jean Guerrero has the story.
In the video, Castro appeared on the shoulder of a highway outside Mexico City. He said he was being hunted by a criminal organization. He asked for someone to pick him up, saying he didn't trust the Mexican police. He tried to describe his location.
Es una gasolinera cruzando la calle y está un arco grande, un arco construido de metal. En serio que fui amenazado, me quieren matar.
Castro is a volunteer coordinator for Border Angels, a San Diego-based advocacy group for migrants. KPBS followed him on a recent trip to distribute donated food and other essentials to migrant shelters in Tijuana.
I don't believe in the leader. I don't believe in the U.S. president, but I do believe in the people. So we, the people, el pueblo, are the ones who are bringing the change.
Castro's disappearance came as he was on his way to southern Mexico to help a caravan of refugees. On the Facebook Live video, he said he noticed he was being followed in northern Mexico and that he tried to outsmart his pursuers on public transit, but that they finally cornered him on the highway. He repeatedly pointed his phone at freight vehicles he said were passing him again and again and pulling over in front of him. One of them can be seen to slow down as it passed Castro. Border Angels founder Enrique Morones held a vigil for Castro on Sunday. He said Castro received multiple death threats recently, in part because of his work to protect vulnerable migrants, who are often exploited by organized crime.
There's people that don't appreciate you taking away their livelihood. It could be people that are involved in trafficking, it could be organized crime. We don't know. So we're very concerned.
Mexico's federal prosecutor is investigating. Castro is a U.S. citizen. Jean Guerrero, KPBS News.
Today, San Diego City Council members got their first chance to weigh in on Mayor Kevin Faulconer's $3.6 million budget. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen says they have hard choices ahead.
No one is happy about this year's budget. Rising pension costs are forcing significant cuts to several departments. Council members praised the mayor for minimizing the impact to the police and fire department budgets. But one of the biggest proposed cuts is to arts funding. The mayor wants to take away $4.7 million from the arts, nearly a third of what the city spent this year. City Councilman David Alvarez says that's not going to happen.
In a year where we do have more revenue coming in, we cannot cut someone that drastically, and I certainly won't be supporting a budget that makes such a deep cut to the arts institution. So we'll have to work hard and figure out where to find the funding, but it's going to have to happen because that's just unacceptable.
Over the next 2 weeks, the council will hold at least 4 public meetings reviewing the budget in detail. The mayor then revises his proposal before a final council vote in June. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
Today, members of the Board of Equalization met behind closed doors to discuss its response to Governor Jerry Brown's recent call for an investigation into the board. This follows a scathing Department of Finance report outlining a pattern of board members misusing both human and financial resources. The agency says today's meeting will focus on preventing further abuses.
This agency is way too big. It's been around for too long that, we really do need some outside agencies looking into our practices and procedures and making sure that we're doing what the public entrusted us to do.
In coming months, the Board of Equalization will also undergo a review and investigation conducted by members of the legislature. The crew of the littoral combat ship USS Coronado are safely back in San Diego after a longer than expected deployment to the Western Pacific. KPBS reporter Steve Walsh has the story.
When they left San Diego in June, they were supposed to be back in time for the holidays, but the original crew of the USS Coronado just arrived home Sunday after their relief arrived in Singapore late last week. The 70 members of the crew 204 were caught in a shakeup when the littoral combat ship program was changed. The Navy ordered changes in how the ships were trained and crewed after mechanical failures aboard the Navy's new vessel led to embarrassing public failures on other ships. The Navy ordered all LCS engineers to be recertified. The Navy also ditched the 3-crew rotation for a more traditional 1 crew on, 1 crew off rotation, the same one used on submarines. The delay left the crew of the USS Coronado stuck in Singapore until those changes could be put in place. Steve Walsh, KPBS News.
UCSD police are investigating a possible arson after 4 campus coffee carts caught fire. Firefighters responded around 11:40 Sunday night. While investigating 2 fires, the alarms sounded again. Authorities found 2 more burning coffee carts on different sides of campus. San Diego fire officials estimate about $28,000 in damage, including lost merchandise. There are no reports of injuries. The epidemic of people taking painkillers and other addictive drugs is widely known, but often lost in the statistics are the smallest victims, the babies, who spend their first days of life fighting withdrawal. Cheryl Clark of KPBS media partner iNewsSource has more in this week's News and Numbers.
New numbers from a state health agency show a significant increase in newborns affected by drugs from their mothers, transmitted either during pregnancy or in breast milk. The numbers have been rising since 2008. But what's really striking is the biggest jump between 2014 and 2015. It's 21% higher. We drilled down by county and found San Diego is 59% higher. Why the increase? Well, we discovered 3 possible reasons. The first and most obvious one is that more pregnant women are taking painkillers. The second reason might be because of a new way that doctors are classifying symptoms, possibly capturing more babies affected by drugs. That system started in the 4th quarter of 2015, but some experts say there's a third reason, simply looking harder and screening more pregnant women for use of addictive drugs. Dr. Richard Song is a neonatologist at Rady Children's Hospital. He says some hospitals and obstetricians are testing just about everyone, and they're finding more babies affected.
I think there are certain hospitals that would automatically get urine toxicology screens on all their moms, whether or not there was high risk or not, just to prevent the stigma of why am I a certain mom getting a urine tested. So to get that stigma away, get that out of the equation, some places will just obtain urine toxicology screens on everybody, just as a precautionary measure.
It's important to identify these babies as soon as possible and get them into treatment. That reduces the suffering for both the babies and their moms. For more information, read our story on iNewsSource.org. For KPBS, I'm Cheryl Clark.
The nation's opioid crisis is forcing doctors and pharmaceutical companies to find alternatives to the highly addictive narcotic painkillers so often prescribed. AP reporter Cindy Sharp has the story.
And what kind of pain level were you experiencing?
Heidi Wyant knows what it's like to live with chronic pain.
Big difference.
Yeah.
The former rehab technician injured her back moving a heavy patient.
Having chronic low back pain just for the 2-3 years that I've had it, it's already drastically affected my life. And I'd get like pain shooting down my legs and I'd fall. I couldn't sleep at night.
But Wyant ruled out highly addictive opioid painkillers, having seen the toll they can take firsthand.
Just because I worked in a drug rehab before, so I've seen what getting addicted to pills can be like.
With 2 million Americans hooked on narcotic pain medicines like Vicodin and OxyContin, patients like Wyant are desperate for alternatives.
Opioids are not an ideal medication for chronic pain. It's what we turn to because we don't have anything that can match the efficacy, the power.
20 years ago, drug companies heavily invested in a search for something different, but failed, and had yet to learn the true addictive power of opioids.
I don't think anyone even dreamt of this possibility. So they are looking at where they are now, and there are opportunities, perhaps, of developing new medications.
Researchers are finding new uses for old drugs, mixing new cocktails of non-addictive drugs, and testing various experimental drugs, including a goo to spread on wounds. Wyant is part of a clinical trial for a medicine Dr. Alan Kivitz says holds some promise. Tanezumab blocks a protein made in response to pain. It works on outlying nerves and keeps pain signals from reaching the spine and brain.
By doing so, it seems to downregulate pain, dramatically making people feel better.
The 27-year-old gets an injection every 2 to 3 months. She doesn't know if it's the drug or a placebo, but Wyant says she feels a difference.
I've been able to go on hikes more, take my dog for walks, just overall enjoy life now.
Results of the study are expected late next year. It's one step in an effort to stem the nation's opioid crisis. Cindy Sharp, Associated Press.
NASA scientists are fixated on a tantalizing clue found on the largest moon in the solar system. They found a salty ocean beneath the icy shell of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. In tonight's SciTech report, producer Luke Groskin introduces us to the astrobiologist who's trying to imagine life on Europa.
Oceans exist beneath the icy shells of moons of the outer solar system. If we've learned anything about how life on Earth works, it's that where you find the liquid water, you generally find life. And so if Europa is inhabited, if Enceladus is inhabited by microbes or some other creatures, how do we actually go about detecting those life forms? We can't wake up in the morning and go to Europa. So instead, we wake up in the morning and go to the lab. My name is Kevin Hand. I'm a scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. In a way, what we're trying to do is sort of reverse engineer what's happening on Europa's surface and potentially figure out what kinds of chemical signatures might be indicative of biology within Europa's ocean. So Europa's got this liquid water ocean, but it's covered by an ice shell that's a few to maybe as much as 20 kilometers in thickness. No sunlight is actually going to get down to that ocean. Does that mean it's kind of game over for life? No. The bottom of our own ocean has ecosystems powered by hydrothermal vents where the microbial communities do just fine without any sun. If we were able to drill through the ice on Europa and drop a camera into its ocean and something swam up to the camera, then touchdown, you found life. But it's going to be a while until we do that, and so at least for the near-term exploration of these worlds, we're going to be limited to measurements that are made through spacecraft flying by and through robotic vehicles that land on the surface and then grab some material off the surface. So what would we look for? Much of what we do in our lab is recreate the surface of Europa at many different scales. At the tiniest scale, we've got these chambers that we refer to as our Europa in a can. These are vacuum chambers that allow us to pump down to Europa temperatures, which is about minus 280 degrees Fahrenheit. We can bring it down to the space vacuum of Europa's surface, and we can then irradiate it with energetic electrons or ions, which is what happens to ice on the surface of Europa. We've put salts into the chamber because we think that Europa's ocean is salty. We put it in and it's a nice pure white. We irradiate it under Europa conditions, take it out, and it's a brownish, yellowish color. And some of that color sort of matches the discoloration on Europa's surface. We've also put different carbon compounds in there, and sometimes we can create a little waxy goo. And that's interesting because maybe these organic compounds are not getting destroyed by the radiation, but instead they might be synthesized into larger compounds. And then we've also put microbes in there, and irradiated microbes, and looked for the remnants of what would serve as a sign of microbial life. We've got these stockpot chambers that are kind of a quick MacGyver-y version to recreate Europa's surface. And then some of our experiments feed forward into the design of robotic landers and sampling systems. Our team has built a vehicle that we call the Buoyant Rover for under ice exploration. And basically what it does is it floats on the underside of the ice and look at the ice-water interface. Those capabilities will hopefully someday be used to explore these far and distant oceans on worlds like Europa and Enceladus. You've got this incredibly cold ice on Europa's surface. At that temperature, is it possible to even sample that ice? Or is it so hard that you just cannot drill into it? And we've done experiments to get at exactly that question, and it turns out with the right tools, we can put a saw blade down in and through that ice. And then most recently, our team has created what we call the Arc of Europa. This is a very large vacuum chamber and cooling system. And then there's a roughly 30 centimeter thick block of ice within there that is then subject to lights going back and forth, kind of like the rise and fall of the sun on Europa's surface. And that may create spikes and dips within the ice surface. This is where our Arc of Europa will help, because we'll be able to recreate the surface structure of Europa. There's still another nearly 15 years or so to go before we maybe land on the surface and sample the surface to look for signs of life. But I predict that within our lifetimes, we will potentially revolutionize our understanding of life in the universe and our place in it. And that's because we do have a pretty robust plan for exploring our solar system and beyond.
Well, it looks like San Diego is cooling down tonight before it heats up this week. Regina Miller has the forecast.
Well, we've seen some rain across central and northern California, San Francisco down to Fresno. We've even had a couple of showers just to the north of the Los Angeles area. Down into San Diego, we've had some passing clouds here in the area, and this is during the last 6 hours. Now, tonight, we are going to see an overnight low of 62 degrees, mostly clear early on, but then we'll have skies becoming cloudy during the late night hours. Into Ramona, we'll be at 51 degrees, Mount Laguna, 49 degrees, and you'll also see those increasing clouds around late. Oceanside at 55 and Borrego Springs at 65 degrees. Now, for your Tuesday, we are going to be dealing with rain. It comes a little bit further southward, even around Los Angeles. San Diego, it's likely that we're still going to be mainly dry in the San Diego area. But as we go into the late week, looks as though we have some dry weather as well. So here's your forecast along the coast. We have the low clouds around in the morning hours, but those will be breaking up with a high temperature of 74. On Wednesday, sunshine and nice with a high of 69 degrees. Thursday, sunny and nice, a little warmer at 71. Your overnight low drops to 48 degrees, so a cooler night. On Friday, sunlit, very warm, 79 degrees. And then look at Saturday, 84 degrees with plenty of sunshine. Inland, we will have clouds and sun mixing for your Tuesday, a nice day with a high of 78. On Wednesday, mostly sunny and 77 degrees. Your overnight low drops to 49. We're going to be at 78 degrees on Thursday, mostly sunny and nice. And then for Friday, sunny and warmer, high temperature of 88 degrees. Saturday, sunny and hot and 92, so it just gets progressively warmer. In the mountain locations, partly sunny for your Tuesday and 62 degrees. We have brilliant sunshine. We go up 1 degree on Wednesday, 63. Breezy with sunshine on Thursday and 65. And then Friday, plenty of sunshine, 68 degrees. It warms up quite a bit on Saturday, 75 degrees with sunshine. In the desert locations, we have a partly sunny sky on Tuesday and 91. Plenty of sunshine on Wednesday and 90 degrees. 91 also on Thursday with plenty of sun. Sunny and very warm on Friday at 92. Saturday, it's a hot day with plenty of sunshine and 98 degrees. I'm Regina Miller, KPBS News.
Coming up tonight on PBS NewsHour, from parliamentary to presidential, people in Turkey have mixed views on their new political system.
It's obvious that a large part of the society does not accept this referendum.
Yeni sistem hani bilmiyorum neler getirecek.
I don't know what the new system will bring, but I'm happy because the person I support has become an executive president.
Plus, a murder video posted online raises debate about Facebook's responsibility. That's tonight on PBS NewsHour, starting at 7, right here on KPBS. And we have an encore presentation of an in-depth look at jazz venues, as KPBS editor Tom Fudge tells us about a network of players and promoters creating a brimming San Diego scene.
Joshua White sits at a grand piano in a large room that's enclosed by walls full of books. The room is a library, but it's also a jazz club.
In San Diego, one of my favorite music venues is where we're currently, speaking at the Athenaeum Music and Arts Library. One, because I love this beautiful Steinway piano, and two, the room has a certain, intimate quality as well as a resonance, sonically.
He says when San Diego loses a performing venue, which he's seen a few times, the jazz community has lost one of its moorings.
They just help perpetuate a sense of continuity or consistency that helps, the community at large survive through, ups and downs.
And those moorings are not just buildings. They are people who bridge the gap between jazz and major institutions in San Diego.
Whether it's Gilbert Castellanos and the San Diego Symphony, or Gilbert Castellanos and the San Diego Museum of Art through Panama 66 and his jam sessions on Wednesday evenings.
It's Wednesday evening, and Gilbert Castellanos is blowing his horn at Panama 66, which is an open sky courtyard next to the San Diego Museum of Art in Balboa Park. He says Panama 66 has that connection between audience and band that a jazz club needs.
That connection and that feeling, that vibe, that church vibe. Because every time I play, I'm on the altar of joy, and that's the stage.
On that stage Wednesday night was drummer Johnny Steele. He's a tall kid, only 16, and he's a student of Castellanos.
I really like playing in this open environment. It's very relaxed, and you're getting to play in front of and with some of the best musicians in San Diego, some of my favorite musicians who also just happen to live here. It's an awesome experience.
In San Diego, the jazz scene relies on a scattering of venues. They include the Plaza Bar at the Westgate Hotel and Bread and Salt in Barrio Logan, which is operated by the Athenaeum. And there's another club that has been a pillar of the local scene, Dizzy's, founded 17 years ago by Chuck Perrin.
I think at Dizzy's I probably over the 17 years done close to a little over 3,000 shows.
Those shows included pianist Mose Allison, singer and Grammy winner Gregory Porter, and drummer Joe Morello. Unlike Panama 66, Dizzy's doesn't serve drinks.
When you come to a show at Dizzy's, there's no talking or kibitzing or anything. It's just about listening to the music.
But Dizzy's journey of 17 years hasn't been just a musical one. It's been forced to move from place to place. It started at a brick warehouse building downtown. Then it moved to a place across from the convention center. Its strangest location was a former car dealership on Mission Bay that rented jet skis and U-Haul vans. Now Dizzy's is on Morena Boulevard in a performing hall owned by the Musicians Union. How long will Dizzy's be here?
I hope I can stay here forever.
San Diego has been home to a long list of jazz luminaries, which include legendary sax players James Moody and Daniel Jackson, both recently died, and the still active Charles McPherson. Gilbert Castellanos, who warms up his trumpet in his Normal Heights home, is still drafting his San Diego legend. And he's more than just an artist. He teaches youngsters at San Diego's International Academy of Jazz, and he's an accomplished promoter. He curates Jazz at the Jacobs, a series that brings international talent to the Jacobs Music Center. So, what is his take on a good jazz venue?
I think a room where people are really listening to what is happening, where it's an interaction not only with the musicians on the stage, but an interaction with the audience. To me, that's extremely important because I personally feed off the energy.
You find those rooms in lots of different places in San Diego. Tom Fudge, KPBS News.
Now, here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. Coming up on Morning Edition, rebuilding community relations after the last presidential election. The San Diego conference that wants to restore civility in politics. And on Midday Edition, the lowriders rolling into Barrio Logan, a celebration of car cruising culture with San Diego roots. That's tomorrow on KPBS Radio. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.